Hi, this is Catherine from family-owned Outabounds Ski and Board. Today, I'm happy to welcome Matt Amelino of Ride Snowboards to tell us the design and performance characteristics of this year's lineup. Here's Amo.
What's up, guys? I am Amo with Ride Snowboards. Here today at Outabounds. We're going to talk about some of the product they got here and give you a rundown on all of it and see what works for you. Cool. So the Kink, designed by Jed Anderson for the last couple of years. Did some updates to it 3 or 4 years ago now. Gave it a new nose and tail profile, just kind of give it that old school feel. I always say this is your classic snowboard. This is what a lot of us who started a long time ago learned on. It's very approachable, but also still has some performance to it. So true twin, you know, a lot of park guys, a lot of street riders love a true twin. Rides the same switch as regular or goofy and switch, whatever it is. True twin meaning if we cut it in half down the middle here, folded it, it'd be exactly the same. We do camber from contact point to contact point, and then a little bit of a flat section right at that contact point. So it is very approachable. Like I said, when you compress that camber, that nose and tail contact points come off the ground. So we're not having to deal with that dreaded scorpion as much as we used to. Again, you know, a lot of board companies are doing full camber where we have that little flat section right at the contact point. I think it just makes it a lot friendlier of a ride. This one isn't gonna have any carbon in it, but just gonna ride like a traditional snowboard. So no carbon in there, but a big thing for us is we do these little squares on that cheat sheet is our impact plates. So we infuse urethane into the wood underfoot. One, again, gonna eat up a lot of vibration, and two, reduce breakage of boards. We've all seen it where somebody lands really tail heavy on a board and it'll snap right at the binding. Having that urethane in there helps prevent that from happening. Doesn't fully prevent it, but it helps. So another update to it a couple years ago was our Slimewall technology. So we've done rolling construction for years. This is taking our rolling construction to the extreme. It does still have urethane in there, our slime wall. It's just kind of milled out a little bit to fit into here. The idea behind the slim wall though is to narrow the top sheet to give you better leverage over the board. So making it easier getting edge to edge on it. Like I said, just your classic snowboard, go everywhere, do anything kind of board right here. Super fun. This does have an extruded base, just so you guys know. So it's a little bit softer material, gonna maybe not take hits as well, like rocks and things, but it makes it more affordable. Smokescreen, directional mid-wide board. So wide enough for a lot of foot sizes, but not too wide for smaller foot sizes. We do a little bit of taper in here, so I think it is 10 mils of taper. So wider nose than tail. That narrower tail is going to help that tail sink in deep snow. Keep that nose up on top so it's going to float really well. And then a lot of times I think it gets overlooked that it is going to help with turn initiation as well. Having that narrower tail allows that board to roll over a little bit easier. I think that's something with tapered boards that gets overlooked a lot. We think about the float of them all the time, and it's great, but it does help with turn initiation and edge transfer and things like that. We do camber from front foot to contact point in the tail with a little bit of rocker right at the contact point, rocker up in the nose as well. We do carbon array 3, so 3 carbon stringers going from the edge, underfoot out to the contact points. Adds a lot of pop and liveliness to the board, but it also adds torsional rigidity. So when we get a board with those carbon X's, it's gonna not twist as much. So that's gonna help hold your edges through turns and things like that. When we get on something without those X's in there, it's gonna feel a little floppy in turns. So this is definitely gonna hold the turn better than something without it. 3/4 of an inch setback on this. So again, helping with that float in deep snow and that turn initiation. Really great board, kind of do it all, go everywhere style board. You know, it's pretty affordable at $500 right now, 20% off. Even though it is affordable, like we have a couple team riders that love riding this in the backcountry. We do our traditional slime wall on here. and then that rolling construction where that top sheet rolls out towards the edge, giving you that nice edge-to-edge transfer as well. Urethane sidewalls, Slimewalls, they're not going to pop or crack if something hits them. I like to talk about lift lines when we're talking about that. We know a lot of times there's people in line who don't care about your gear. They're on rental stuff and they're just stepping on your board, going all over the place. When those edges hit an ABS sidewall, they can pop or crack. So having urethane in there makes it so they just take that hit really nicely. Smokescreen, good on that. Cool. All right, Moderator. Like I said, my favorite board in the line. This is my daily driver. Really, really fun board. Again, kind of an ATV, go anywhere, do anything board. It is directional, so 3/4 of an inch set back. We do 6 millimeters of taper in this. Again, that taper helps with flow and turn initiation. We do carbon array 3 in here. So 3 carbon stringers going out to those contact points, nose and tail. We do 5 carbon stringers going tip to tail on this board, and then a pre-cured fiberglass top sheet. So that pre-cured fiberglass top sheet is going to eat up a lot of vibration. It's going to help with that pop and liveliness, and it's also going to help keep the camber profile of this board throughout the life of it. This one we do camber from front foot all the way through the contact point in the tail. So very poppy and lively, good edge hold. Rocker in the nose to help it flow and initiate those turns, make it very flowy. We do have our slim wall tech here, again, narrowing that top sheet to give you better leverage over the board, getting it edge to edge. Twin Pig, great board for an all mountain rider that wants something a little softer flexing. Also great for those tweens whose parents are afraid to buy them a board. This is a volume shift story, so you can ride it 3 to 6 centimeters smaller. We can use that weight range on the back to help with that when we're talking to customers. Big thing with volume shift is you end up with a wider but shorter board. So you end up with the same amount of surface area and core material as that true to size board, making it very, very approachable for a lot of different riders. Like I said, a tween, if that parent's afraid to buy him a board because what if he grows in the next week or so? That weight range is big enough to where it'll work for a lot of different riders. And then that base, having that volume shift, making it a little bit wider. If their foot grows, it's not gonna cause toe drag. So for instance, let's just say a teenager, a tween, coming in at 100 pounds. The weight range on the 148 is 100 to 205 pounds. So huge weight range. Big thing here too is it is asymmetric true twin. So asymmetric meaning we have different side cuts. Our toe side is a standard side cut, and then our heel side is a deeper, shorter heel side cut. So helping make up for our body's asymmetry. As a snowboarder, we know getting into that toe side turn and holding that toe side turn is a lot easier, and you can rip it a lot harder as opposed to that heel side. So having that heel side side cut different makes it so it's a lot easier to get into that heel side turn and hold that heel side turn. If you like something softer flexing, I have a lot of friends that love this as a daily driver. We do micro camber between the feet, rocker, nose, and tail. No carbon in here, but you still get our impact plates. So everything we've talked about, all the boards have impact plates in them. 2 years ago, I think, we updated it to that slim wall technology as well. So again, with volume shift boards, it's nice having that slim wall just because it gives you better leverage over a wider board. Warpig. This is a board that has been our top seller for years and years. Really, really versatile board. I know a lot of people see the shape and think it's a great POW deck, which it is, but it's also a really fun park deck, half pipe, groomers, whatever it is. I rode this for a full year every day when I was living up in Steamboat. Didn't matter what the conditions were, I was getting on this thing. I've had a lot of fun on it, and it's just, again, extremely versatile. I think that shape kind of scares people away from it sometimes. Looks extremely directional, but you're actually centered in the side cut and centered in the camber profile, so it rides switch really, really well. Big volume shift story here. So we want to downsize on this 6 to 10 centimeters. Personally, I ride that Moderator in a 159. I ride this in the small, which is a 148. So I even go a little bit more extreme on the volume shift on this. Like I said, it is very versatile. We do have quite a bit of tech in here. So first things first, carbon array 3. So those 3 carbon stringers going out to the contact points, nose and tail. We do our impact plates underfoot here, of course, and then we do our Slimewall tech as well. We updated it to that Slimewall tech again, I think 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago. I have a hard time keeping track of that stuff. When I first got on it with that Slimwall, I felt like I could step up into that medium with my small boot. It does make it a lot easier getting it edge to edge. We do 10 mils of taper in here, so again, helping with that float and that turn initiation. Again, you know, even though it has that taper, the blended side cut allows it to ride switch really, really well. Cannot emphasize that enough. It rides switch extremely well. It's actually flat between the feet, rocker, nose, and tail. Most people think it is camber between the feet. Shadow band, favorite graphic in the line. Dark, kind of spooky top sheet, great for this time of year, as well as that base. Very, very poppy, but also that dark imagery, very metal kind of feel to it. This is the true quiver builder, I would say. Directional twin. So directional twin, meaning you're centered in the camber section of it, you're centered in the side cut of it, you just get a little bit of extra material up in the nose. So we do a 1/4 inch of extra material. So it rides like a true twin on hard pack, floats better than a true twin in deep snow. I think 90 to 95% of your average consumer should be on this board of this style, a directional twin. There's still a lot of people out there who want a true twin, but don't necessarily need a true twin. Like I said, rides hard pack just like a true twin. Rides switch very, very well because all that extra material in the nose is outside of the contact points. No taper, so again, rides like a true twin. We do camber between the feet, rocker, nose, and tail. It does look like extended rocker on the nose. That's because of that extra material. I get asked that question a lot when people look at this. They're like, oh, it's got more rocker in the nose. I'm like, no, it's just more material in the nose. We do our carbon array 3 in here. So again, carbon stringers going out to the contact point, nose and tail. And then that grid pattern you see on this cheat sheet, that is gonna be that pre-cured fiberglass top sheet. So very, very damp, snappy, and durable. That top sheet material is actually made in Utah, which is also kind of cool. Rolling construction and Slimewall. So all those good benefits that you get out of ride boards, packed into one solid package.